5 people who are sitting next to me are my siblings. That means my brothers and sisters. I'm the girl who has blonde hair. The man who is wearing a suit lives in San Francisco. He's Jody. The girl who is wearing a yellow dress is my sister, Melissa. The guy who is sitting next to my sister is my youngest brother, Alex. Spencer is my only brother who has a beard. The man who is sitting next to Alex is Jamie. I love my family. Okay, let's talk about adjective clauses. Adjective clauses are clauses that describe a noun. Just like adjectives, we use them to talk about nouns. All of the nouns you see here are in red. They are being modified by the adjective clauses. When we use adjective clauses, we must have a subject and a verb. That's what makes it a clause. In this case, the subject is a pronoun. In all of these examples, the subject pronoun is who. Notice that this verb is plural. Why is that? Well, let's look at the noun that the adjective clause is modifying. These 5 people is a plural noun, so we need to make sure we have a plural verb in our adjective clause. The verb in the adjective clause must agree with the noun that it's modifying. Who is a subject pronoun that we use for people. However, we can also use that for people. You know, I like to go on trips with my family, but we can't always agree where we want to stay. Jamie prefers a hotel that has a pool. I want to stay in a hotel that is close to the ocean. Jody and Spencer like hotels which offer free breakfast. They really like to eat. We can also use adjective clauses to describe things. Notice the pronouns in these adjective clauses. We use that and which for subject pronouns that describe things. Do you remember that can also be used as a subject pronoun that describes a person? Notice here too that one of these example sentences has a plural verb in the adjective clause. It's offer, because the adjective clause is describing a plural noun, hotels. Again, the verb in the adjective clause must agree with the noun that it's describing. The wise owl has a message for you. Be careful. You cannot take out the subject pronouns in adjective clauses. It is wrong to say the man is wearing a suit lives in San Francisco. What's missing? Yeah, we need a pronoun, who or that. Okay, here's some important things to remember about adjective clauses with subject pronouns. We must not omit the pronoun. We have to have it. The pronouns we can use for people are who and that. The pronouns we can use for things are which and that. And the verb in the adjective clause must agree with the noun it modifies. Now you know about adjective clauses with subject pronouns.
Adjective clauses with subject pronouns, guided practice. Let's do some guided practice to help you work on subject adjective clauses. We'll review some important ideas about adjective clauses. Here we have a sentence with an adjective clause. The people who are on the sofa are Emily's siblings. Point 1. In this type of adjective clause, the relative pronoun is the subject of a verb. That's why it's called a subject pronoun. Here, who is the subject of are. Next, the verb agrees with the noun being described. Are must agree with people, since that's the noun being described by the adjective clause. Finally, subject pronouns for people are who and that, and for things, they're which and that. Let's practice choosing the correct pronouns. Here's a sentence. First, look directly after the missing pronoun. Do you see a verb? That means you need a subject pronoun. Next, look before the missing pronoun. Is it a person or a thing? These are people, so we can use who or that. Here, because I'm doing a grammar exercise, I'm listing them both, but if I were writing, I would choose one. Now you do the others. Pause or stop your video and play it again to hear the answers. Okay, for number 2, shows is a verb, so we need a subject pronoun. We're describing a picture, and that's a thing. We can use which or that for our answer. For number 3, we have a verb, and we're describing a woman, a person, who or that. Number 4 has a verb and a thing, so choose which or that. Next, we're going to talk about combining 2 sentences into one sentence. Here are 2 sentences. Emily's brother speaks a which or that. Next, we're going to talk about combining 2 sentences into one sentence. Here are 2 sentences. Emily's brother speaks Italian. He has a beard. These are very short sentences that are both about Emily's brother, so it's better to write this as one sentence with an adjective clause. Here are some steps to follow. First, take away the repeated noun in the second sentence. He in sentence 2 means Emily's brother. So take away he like this. Next, replace he with a relative pronoun. He is a person, so we can use who or that in its place. I'll put both here because this is a grammar exercise. Now we need to move this new adjective clause to directly follow this noun, brother, like this. Now we have 2 sentences for each possible pronoun. And which brother does the adjective clause describe? Spencer. He has a beard and he speaks Italian. Okay, now you're ready to practice on your own. with a relative pronoun. He is a person. Next, replace he with a relative pronoun. He is a person, so we can use who or that in its place. I'll put both here because this is a grammar exercise. Now we need to move this new adjective clause to directly follow this noun, brother, like this. Now we have two sentences for each possible pronoun. And which brother does the adjective clause describe? Spencer. He has a beard and he speaks Italian. Okay, now you're ready to practice on your own. Good luck!